Looks like we're live. I'm gonna go close the laundry room door because I think it's adding some noise. Okay. This is going to be an interesting, well, it's a July recycler, eBay recycler haul, eBay haul, I guess, mostly. That's the pile. We'll try to get through that, and then I have a more interesting one right after that from something that happened last week, but you'll have to stay tuned to a different broadcast for that one. Let me start it out by saying I did get to my first Cerakoting, so I'm pretty excited about that. Sorry, let me tweak this to get it the way I thought I had it. Why is it off center? This way, this way. Yeah, whatever. Okay. And what happened was, I wanted to show you, is that I got my Cerakote set up trial run, and it was an interesting learning experience. I had a fiasco with some of my process. I think I'm still alive, but could have been better. The results are great, but the process, I didn't do so good. So I took this keyboard, and I actually, it was a sacrifice for my first attempt, and I didn't want to videotape it because it was just trying to make sure I had all the steps and knew what I was doing. And so I took the bottom half of this Dell Quiet Key. First of all, when I posted some pictures on Desk Authority, and I got some comments that it wasn't too bad of a, as far as rubber domes go, it's actually pretty good. And then I double checked, and sorry, I forgot who commented on that, but they actually were individual rubber domes, and they were, I think, the light blue ones, whereas my Silicon Graphics ones are yellow. But I think I didn't know that at the time, but I think, that's a pretty good indicator that there are some decent rubber domes, and usually they're the kind that have individual rubber domes, either in the yellow or light blue, and I think there might be another color. But and he also commented that it's the Dell Quiet Keys that aren't made in China that have that trait, so that's an interesting thing to look out for. I saw a million of these at one of the places I go to get keyboards. There's a ton of these, and because they're rubber dome, I just ignore them, but I probably still will. But if someone loved them or something, I could get my hands on them fairly cheap. Don't know how I feel about that. I'm not really trying to be a middleman, or I don't want to sell them, or that's kind of a hassle. But if someone really needed something, I could probably get stuff and ship it to them. So anyways, back to Cerakoting. It involved, I bought the setup for Cerakoting like 6-8 months ago. And because it needed to be done outside, and it was kind of cold in the winter, I didn't do it, and I finally started getting around to it. And man, when I have to do things I haven't done before, it's hard. I try to avoid it. It's like this weird thing where I avoid it and I have to get psyched up, and then I finally did it. And so I had a sandblaster, and I put the grit that I have that's good for ABS plastic, and I put that in there, like 10 pounds of grit, and then I had to get all the parts I had an air compressor, never used it before. I bought a hose, and there's a million kinds of fittings that go on the ends of the hose, and so I had to buy the right set of fittings and this or that, and so I got all that. So I got this air compressor. I have it hooked up I can hook it up to the sand blaster, and then I can unplug it and hook it up to my Cerakote high HPLV, low volume, high pressure, low volume sprayer. And then each device you're using needs a different throughput, and you got to kind of adjust things all the time. And so part of the Cerakote process is to sandblast it so it's got a rough edge, so that the ceramic paint will bond to it. Ceramic paint, by the way, is amazing. It's highly durable. They use it on guns to coat them, but it's durable. It's thin. It's like 0.001 inches thick. So I tried sandblasting, and then normally you would need to Cerakote within 4 hours, or that kind of the molecular disruption, the nooks and crevices or whatever that were caused by the sandblasting. I think it needs to be done within 4 hours, or else it kind of somehow dulls, or I don't know what happens. But I didn't do that. I was just, so some of this was kind of an experiment in extremes. Like I didn't Cerakote within 4 hours, but I was just testing my sandblaster. And then what else did I do? Oh, I also have a smoker that's my oven for you have to cure after you Cerakote, but I'm kind of talking about this all backwards because the first thing you actually do is try to get rid of oils from the plastic, and so that involves I used Prep-All, and I think you're supposed to rub it on a towel and rub plastic with it, whereas the metal stuff you normally dunk in it for 30 minutes. Well, I did the full dunk thing with the keyboard, and I had to, it floats, you know. Same thing with when I was doing retrobrating, you have to kind of pin it down. So I had it pinned down for 30 minutes and that stuff, and then I let it air dry on a hanger, on an outdoor coat hanger. I kind of have a shed out back that I'm doing all this in, and then so I just tested that worked, and then I poured the Prep-All back into the Prep-All can through a funnel, and I don't know, just trying that out. And then after that, after it dries, you're supposed to kind of pre-cure it, I guess. So that was my trial run on the smoker I have. I have like a charbroil smoker that's only to be used for this Cerakoting. Kind of tall. When I was looking for dimensions, it seemed to fit most of the keyboards, but now I'm worried that, you know, you got to keep it steady on the hooks, or else it might, you know, if it's kind of slanted and stuff, it touches against the sides of it and this or that. So I still have a lot more to figure out there, but I have 2 thermometers in there with digital, you know, remote sensors, I guess, so I can, because I was kind of curious. The front of the charbroil smoker has an analog temperature gauge, but I put accurate temperature sensors. I taped them to the wall with heat tape at the bottom and the top, so I could see kind of the temperature difference throughout the chamber. And then, you know, you bake it for plastic, for ABS, it needs to be under 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So I had it around, you know, the bottom temp said 160 and the bottom said 175 and top said 175 or something. So tried that out. Okay, cool, the smoker's working. Then I actually got around to figuring out just going for it on the Cerakote. So I put the paint in the beaker and then the bonding agent and mixed it all. You shake it all for 5 minutes and all this, 20 minutes, I don't know, a long time, this or that. And then I went to spray it, and I had made that was a big fiasco because I made a whole what I thought was a good paint spray booth, but it was actually the worst because it kept, what did it do? It just had no ventilation. First of all, I forgot to turn on the shop vac I had that was going to suck the air out of the place, and so gosh, that's why I'm saying I'm lucky. I might be lucky I'm alive, because it just I had a 3M organic vapor mask on, but I hope it did. I think that saved me, but I did it all wrong, let's say. Anyways, and then you got to be real kind of careful and thorough about, like, I think I had the width of the spray right and the distance away right, but then when you're applying, you need a steady hand and same speed, because I think if you go in too close or back out, then all of a sudden you're going to have some hot spots. And anyways, to cut to the chase, this was the top of the case, and this is the bottom with Cerakoting. And so you have to squint, because another hard problem is like getting to the edges with your sandblaster and with your gun, and so like you'll have, like, you know, problems like that, and that I didn't. But I wasn't, like I said, it was just my first attempt. And another thing that's worth noting is this half I sandblasted and this half I didn't, but I don't know, I can't tell too much difference, honestly. So I was trying to see don't look at this, I don't know. But trust me, it's a beautiful finish. It's really great. This stuff, the logos, you know, normally I would heat tape those and I would remove these rubber feet, but like I said, just first run experiment, so I was just kind of going for it. Like, in fact, you can see this is not painted, but so for a noob in his first attempt, I think Cerakote is amazing stuff. Like, when I hold it in different lights, I can see shine, and I don't know if it's like spray paint changes or curing or oils or the normal keyboard would have had that, or there's some here. You can't really see them probably, but this is kind of what it's doing. I think maybe in some light you can see that. And so I don't know if that will bother me in color more than it would have in beige, or if I'm not quite sure what caused that. My painting technique, my degreasing, I didn't do it right, I don't know. But I would say that's Smith & Wesson red coat, and it's, I think, very promising for do it yourself. You know, it's so smooth. There's definitely no clumps or clobs or running. Like I said, it's 0.001 inches thick, so it's like if you got that paint just right, it's gonna make a beautiful, colored keyboard. The reason I was interested is because I think retrobraiding, I don't know, you get mixed results sometimes, like I did on my last batch. I think this is going to be a better option than retrobraiding for me as far as what I care about. Okay, we'll set that aside now. Get on to our July haul. So I think Allie! Bad timing that my wife decided to do some vacuuming. Hope she doesn't do that the whole time. But here's the first thing. I decided to start kind of getting some of the cheaper typewriters that I see around electric. Search for electric typewriter and some of the places you can buy things, and trying to find people that are either living close by and want to get rid of it for cheap, or things that I like the font of. And so like this one with the normal QWERTY style hammers that go up, like I have no interest in. This is actually a pretty cheap case, so I hope people aren't offended, but I'm not really after restoring this as a typewriter. I'm after these keycaps, and so it might upset some people, but I'm just trying to raid those and see if I could maybe use them in some modern way, later. So we'll see. Either some kind of adapter to get it to Cherry MX, let's say, or... So here's the letter S. I was able to remove it, and just looks like kind of the standard thing back in the day. Like, if I believe the only straight fit this might fit would be like a beam spring. So the IBM beam springs, which are like the earliest computer keyboards that came after typewriters, had that same slot, but then by the time you went to Model F and buckling spring, it already wasn't this. So I bet this would work on a beam spring, of which I don't have one, and I hope someday to get one, but man, the prices are so out there. I actually been bidding occasionally. I was dreaming of getting one for maybe $800, but I'll tell you what, none of them go for that low. But so like maybe an adapter for this, or maybe I cut it out and put a new Cherry MX stem in it. I claim that the double shot quality is in the fonts. There's a lot of stuff. Think about the new like GMK or SA keycap runs. They're going to cost about $200. So I think these ones for that I'll get for $5, and I'll save these, and then I like some of these fonts, like where they have the bigger letter on them and stuff. And so if I can, and I think I would invest my time trying to reclaim these and figure out an adapter or something to get them in use on a modern keyboard somehow, or like I said, do a stem mod, keycap stem mod. So I like the font. I think it's cool. I mean, there's a lot of not useful keys, so I don't know if I kind of don't know what I'm doing. Like, could I use the alphas and the numerics and then augment with something else that's not, because this isn't going to help most of these ones, but that's kind of the idea. So I will be probably rating this for keycaps and then submitting the rest of it to the recycler, but don't know what else. Don't have a better idea, but I claim it's getting some reuse out of the thing. What else we got here? We got a couple more typewriters, so let's start looking at those. This one came in this case, I guess. So I'm just gonna open this case and see what I got here. I can't remember. Might be the same thing, actually. No, it looks different. Sorry about that. That first one was a brother. The first one was a brother. What? Let me see. Correcto-Writer. It was called a brother Correcto-Writer. This one is called a, well, let's just hold it up, shall we? Oh, a Sears, the Scholar with correction. There you can see the old hammers of a QWERTY even though it's electric. Suppose I should learn how to put that back on, but I don't know if I care. There we go. All right, the caps look very similar. In fact, I should just keep one off of these so I can kind of compare them. But yep, same kind of connection. Oh, look at this. I mean, I know, I doubt it would fit Cherry Max, but this is kind of the fun stuff I'm talking about. Let's get the letter off of the other one and compare them, shall we? Pull the S off of this one. So this one's the brother. This one's the Sears. Here's their S's. It's kind of interesting, huh? Like I said, black and white, or white on black is with the large letter is in double shot it's pretty sweet. I would say in general what I find is the typewriters are smaller, you know, they feel smaller, but I guess it's just the tops maybe are smaller than most modern keycaps. I don't know. I definitely feel like the top surface is a smaller, I guess, diameter, radius, whatever, length on the side. So what do we got? We got, that's Sears. This one's the brother. Let's add a third to that. I got one more typewriter here. Oh, Smith Corona. So we got 3 different typewriters here to look at. Also in the hard plastic. Also in the hard plastic case. This one has spherical round, or it has round keycaps, so that's attractive because you don't see that much nowadays. Like I think that comes across in the video here. Yeah, let's take an S off. Came off easier. This looks smaller in length than the other one, but let me see if I can set this aside and get the power cord out of the way. Yeah, here's this S. This is a kind of a fun little experiment with typewriter keys. Let's see what the differences these lengths are. I guess I can't tell. It looks definitely, this one's smaller, so in length, so maybe non-standard. There's not a standardization there, I would say, so who knows. I have IBM Selectrics, but I don't really want to get them out right now. But let's try, one thing we can do for fun is let's look under the microscope real quick. I'm looking at OBS and I can't tell if the sound's still going when I it's gray, white on gray, which I think is probably more rare, and it's spherical, which is rare. So I think converting this would be a worthwhile thing just for how unique this keycap is. The keycaps on that typewriter are. So that might be a fun one. Okay, let's move on to some stuff. What do we got? Let's start with this one. It's a Chicony 5181. I am still a noob in many ways, and so I thought I was getting the magic blue Alps thing blue Alps that are the one everyone claims is the best, but I think according to Sneaky Rob, I did not get the right one. Let's see. I think I want, what is it, SMK Blue Alps is what people want, and I got I don't know what I got. He said Monterey, but I thought, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe we'll dig into the internet while we're here and see. So you can see, there's what we do have. So it's light blue. I believe the correct one would be dark blue. I do have two sets of, I got a July haul, recycler haul to get through, and an August, so I think I'll defer more details about it till I get, till maybe a breakdown video or whatever. But so like most Alps, it's it's not double shot, it's single shot. So I don't know if it's like PBT. Is it yellowed or not? I don't know. I do like the two-tone, I guess, and it feels, oh, the control is stuck. It's like something was stuck. I mean, I think Monterey blues are also nice, so they're just not the nice one, the dark blue SKC, what are they, SKM? Like I said, I don't own one yet, so I don't have to get it right yet, but I bid on some, and the bidding went way up, and so I like on a leading edge DC 2014 or whatever, that keyboard, it's guaranteed to have them, but I haven't been able to secure one yet. But thought I was getting it with this, but I wasn't. But still, I think it's a nice keyboard to have. So, and let's see, I did get my numbering started again for this video, so we're on 54. So, whoa, I don't want that though, so that was a waste. Let me switch to the smaller printing. Here's my small cartridge. 3/8 inch. And what's the font size? Yep, 20. Okay. I'll just print this and it should be right. So this is Krauss-for 54. My wife's wondering where I'm going to be storing all this stuff. We're moving here eventually within a year. I guess the garage. Right now I got some pretty decent space in the rental we're in, but that's going to go away, and I got to figure out some better way to do it. But so this is a yeah, you saw, oh yeah, Chicony 5181. Here, I'll look a little closer. Yep, there you go. It's got the XT-AT switch. It's fairly dirty. Build quality is decent, but it's got some flex to it. It feels smooth. The plastic is nice. That's about all I got to say about that. What's next? Next is, I was trying to get my first TI-99. I just noticed this was soft, but so I think I'm starting to get during the COVID times. I think eBay's prices are going up significantly. So, in case it helps others, whatever. Again, this is like July of 2020, and I'll tell you how much I paid for this this board. Let me see if I can find it in my purchase history. What did I pay? Probably too much. No, I think I've been getting some decent deals, but and some of it, like, I go out on a limb because I want to have one and see what it's like and learn. And let's see. Sorry, give me one more second here. Getting closer. Okay. I paid $40.15 for this. I would say it's very dirty. It's got Mind Challenge in it, but like I said, I'm after the keys. I don't want to play the TI-99 FOR.A's operating system or games or Visual Basic. I know there's a lot of people that are part of the hobby that do that, but I'm in the keyboard hobby, so that's what so I apologize again if these kind of things I'm reading, the things where a computer's attached that I don't want. I'm sad that I can't use that part, but okay, here's the switch type, which I'd have to look up. I guess, like I said, I'll wait. Oh, let me see if I can't see quite what I'm doing here. Yeah, so here, I'd say the keycaps got a pretty interesting font. I guess I would say I don't like the stuff on the front of them, but the top, it's just, what I find is you get these cheap home console ones, and the font, they kind of seems more comic or whatever, not so, so I guess I'm not a huge fan, but like I said, it's double shot. I guess it's fairly thin on the sides, but here, we'll just hold this one up. So there's the D, and here's the underside of it. And I should know my switches better by now, but I'll look it up just so we know, so it's easier if someone's watching this. I guess we'll do a TI-99 FOR.A lookup. See if I can get a quick answer, which I believe I can. Yeah, okay, this will have it. I'm looking at Desarty's wiki. Come on, Desarty. Oh, here it has it, but it says there's quite a few different. It may come with Alps. It may come with Futaba, or General Instruments, or High-Techs, or Mitsumi's, or Stackpole. I know it's not Stackpole. I know it's not Alps. So that leaves what? Futaba's. It either comes with Futaba MD or sealed linears, and it looks like not Futaba. So what else we got? General Instrument Series S950. Yes, it does look like that picture. Okay. I wasn't aware of those. Oh, they said it's largely identical to Alps SKCC series. The key stem is smaller and accepts standard Claire Pendar keycaps instead of Alps keycaps. So, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know much about that, but I believe from the pictures that's what we're staring at here. So let's just call it that. All right. So this is so tiny of a shift, and yeah, I don't know. Probably not a great board to. Wow, I mean, some of these are so tiny, but like, it's hard to hit those shifts. There's no caps lock up here, but I'd clean them up and experiment with what we could do with them. But let's look at that cap again. What would I do if I was going to do a stem mod? It's pretty thick in there, but. Do I have yeah, here's one of my Cherry MXs. That don't fit. Actually, I also wanted to show you guys, let's see what, I was kind of curious, does know which one. One of these had sort of a Cherry Max like. Oh yeah, look at that. I doubt it'll fit, but I can try. Right now, I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to try it on one of the keyboards. Probably going to get it stuck. Yeah, that's not smart. Okay, never mind. Give me a second to recover from that, what I just did here. Okay, got it. Yeah. So, you know, a cheap look at Texas Instruments, but let me label this 55, and then I'm going to show you an even cheaper one. Maybe it'll have different switches in it. Actually, I don't know if I opened it up yet. Since it's the kind of that was made by several different and has a chance of being something different, like Alps even. We'll see. Maybe there weren't any good Alps, so I forgot when I read it what it said. So that's 55 on that one. Now check this one out. This one, the guy does trade and sell video games, so it's people that like to play these old things, and so this one I guess didn't work and it had a dent in it, so he's selling it for $5, and the dent is bare, you know, it's noticeable, but it's like, for me and for keyboard, this one's might be even in better shape than the other one. It looks a little cleaner. Let's see what we get for switches. Oh, Stackpole. So cool. I'm actually starting to build up quite a collection of Stackpole. You won't see it in this video, but in the next one I'm going to do about the August recycler haul. Got another Stackpole in that, and I have some decks, Stackpole, and yeah, so now I'll have, I don't know, maybe 4 different brands of Stackpole, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so we did get lucky. It's interesting because you don't know what you're going to get with these ones that have 1 of 5 possible switches. So let's number that one, 56. Okay. Yeah, I mean, electric typewriters, I think it's fine to send them to the recycler, in my opinion, but this TI-99, I kind of wish I could give it to the guys that need computer parts for making their TI-99, you know, if they want spares for their TI-99 FOR.A, that's, you know, more the computer part and less the keyboard part. I should just figure out a way to get those into the right hands instead of sending it to the recycler. So I guess I'll work on that. If anyone knows, let me know how I can do that. Or what's a good place to do that. Okay, here's another one I got that I never had one before, so I wasn't quite, so I wanted to add it to my collection and see what they're all about. So, this one is an Apple, right? So it's an Apple model M0110. And we'll look it up here and see what the switch type is. You can see it there, but it's because these probably, oh yeah, the stems are fragile and broke off in the, Grady taped the whole bag shut, but what do I got? Maybe this task knife can cut this. Oh, I got a cutting mat over here. Let's see if I can cut it off without cutting my desk off here. Alright. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess I didn't need to get them out to show you, but you can see that the stems broke off and stayed inside here. These look similar to the, you know, if they extend it out, they're almost like the one we just looked at. So the one we just looked at was what? General Instrument series that's largely identical to Alps SKCC, so I'm kind of guessing this one would be Alps SKCC. Let's look it up. I mean, I'm going to look up Apple M0110, I guess it was. Yeah. And let's see. What does it say? Alps SKCC series. So I think that's what we just said. Oh yeah, this has got a caps lock that stays down. If you notice that. It's got a very metallic, and it's sturdy, it doesn't bend, so there's good steel plate in here. This plastic is harder than most or whatever. It's a long, deep plunger. I guess that's just straight linear. I mean, it just bottoms out. So to me, I think it's linear, but I guess we can look that up later too. But yeah, interesting. Broken keycaps, but let's see how much I paid for this guy, shall we? Let's see. 61. So that's probably a little high for what I'm getting, but I kind of had some ideas though, like since it's so, like obviously I like the colored logo ones, but this one's got the logo, but it's not colored, but I could see Cerakoting or doing something interesting to draw attention to this, make this a better looking Apple keyboard. It's actually quite sturdy, and it's probably pretty functional. The caps lock's a little weird, but tab and shift are there, and I think I would only use these two, and yeah, I think this would make a nice kind of 60%. I guess you'd have to hold down Option and put a T-nav right here or something. Remap, I guess, but actually I don't know how compatible these are. I think it's ADB as well, but which I heard is easy to convert. I haven't done it yet. Let me see what it says. Yes. Oh, it's not ADB. It's Apple proprietary, and it's from 1984 to 1986. This keyboard. Let's see if I can take one off without breaking it. Oh, wow. Jeez. You guys want to see what the whole thing looks like? Oh man, there's a spring too. Jeez. Oh, I guess I just broke that. Well, now we get to look what the the spring housing looks like and everything. And then there's a little spring in here that I need to hold on to. Does this come out too? Not sure what that part that's left is, but I will add this to the collection. I kind of felt like if it's already kind of broken off some, that it's going to be pretty brittle, and I guess every single one I touch might be that brittle. So, yeah, not sure I can salvage the switches out of this one. Maybe it'd be something I'd be interested in replacing with Cherry MX, let's say, but keeping the case. I think it's attractive form factor. Yeah, I kind of like it actually. Alright, this one will be, what are we on, 54, 5, 6, this one's 57. Okay. I think it's pretty cool. I think I could see a project trying to use it. My wife's like, when are you ever going to finish any of your projects? All I have is ideas for projects, but we'll finish some eventually and prove her wrong, but I have fun even if I don't finish any projects. That's kind of the point, is to have fun. Something that's relaxing and gives you joy and is fun for you. So, but I'd like to see the ideas go to completion as well. But it's not a race, it's a journey, so I'm fine with taking my time. Alright, that was cool. Now what do we got? Since we're sort of on the topic of video game consoles, I guess that Mac keyboard was not. I'd also been wanting one of these guys, and specifically Atari 800 because it has this, I like this Atari keycap. I think that's quite cool. I always like color, so I think these have potential for something. And I also like, big font letters. This is also like the TI in that it had several different manufacturers. And the place I got this is a big haul that I got at a place. And I paid a lot for this, too much. $80 is what I paid for this, but I wanted to have one. But he had 4 of them. I took off the keycaps, and the other 3 were... crap, now I can't remember what they were, but I think, oh yeah, this is one where I chose Stackpole. So I was actually pleasantly surprised that the other TI has Stackpole. So now I have, an Atari, a TI-99, I have a DEC 52 back there, and then I think another keyboard that's another brand that's, you'll see coming up in the next video, is also Stackpole. So I'm curious to see what switching maybe the keycap sets would look like, or if that's just dumb and it's going to look ugly. Not sure yet, but I'm now the owner of, I guess, 4 Stackpole from 4 different, OEMs, or 4 different brands or whatever. But again, I'll have to try to see if I can give this a home after I take these off, or this one might be something where I'd try to I also have dreams of chopping and keeping some of the original flavor of it. So like example, if I could have that, keep that logo involved and maybe this front half, but jettison all the bulk in the computer. So this one, the TI-99, there's nothing, that's not true actually. So for the TI-99, that might be an idea too, is to make a little keyboard that has so it's recognizable what it is. So, but then like replace the guts and make it a thin, modern, maybe augment some of the keys that are missing. And then, so there's a lot of, like I said, ideas and projects. I can think of quite a lot actually. And anyways, so that's what I was thinking with those. Like it's so iconic, the Atari logo and the age of this. And I don't know if you guys, read Ernest Cline's book or saw the movie, but had a lot of mention. I grew up in that era of the vintage video games, and so I have a lot of nostalgia around it, I would say. 58. Alright, let's get this on here. And what? And move on. I think we got one more. That's an oldie but a goodie. Alright, let's set that aside. This one's heavy. Okay. Last one for this video is pretty insane, I would say. It is well, let's just open it. Let's do the unveiling, shall we? I guess the tape's on the ends. Where does it end? Here it is. There we go. I think I might be able to unravel it now. Oh wow, this thing is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh. My wife's jealous. I'm drooling over keyboards. Wow, it's all metal. It's wobbly, so it's not balanced with its feet. Oh, because it's missing a foot. FOR.A video typewriter VTW 600. Let's see what we got on the back. Anything? No. How about here? Company limited, made in Japan. Serial number, date, don't have any of that. That doesn't look like. This is wicked sweet though. Gorgeous font. Almost, yeah, these keycaps are gorgeous. That's a little tiny shift. Shift lock, flash marker. I've never had my hands on any of these things. Look at these little roller wheels. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, look at this, baby. So many gadgets on here. I don't think I could get used to this mess over here. I'd have to remap it, but wow. Beautiful font, beautiful white keys. Geez, how do they, those colors are insane. What do we got here? Yeah, double shot. This is, yeah, so this looks like typically this kind of hole and this kind of switch is micro switch. And I think so, I'm gonna look it up, but it's either gonna be, it's gonna be, I'm hoping it's Hall effect, I guess, but we'll see if we can find out what it is. I have magnetic valve and I have another Hall effect, but this is probably my best and oldest maybe, but we'll check how much I paid for it too. Should we start with that? No, I'm on Dust Authority right now, so, or Wiki, so let's see if we can find VTW. Not gonna be there. How about on the main discussion board? VTW-600. Nobody has that. Jeez. Well, let's look at my eBay purchase history and see if they described it. Not that they're accurate, but it says Hall effect, keyboard, micro switches, and I want to see more about this thing. I'll tell you what I paid for it. I paid $153.99. To me, it's, by looking at it right now in my hands, it's worth it. It's like I said, I've been starting to rationalize like what's a new keycap set, and I think this keycap set is fantastic. Whether I can modify it or use it, I don't know, but I will. The goal would be to find a way to use it. So choices are see if the Hall effect stuff in there it works and we can convert it. I don't know, do stem mod, or I wonder if anyone's done modern Hall effect switch something with old keycaps. I don't know, whatever. I doubt it. I haven't even looked into it though. But I want to see some of these more expensive ones. I usually have these kind of interesting bidding wars, and I wish I could see what it was listed at. But this one's not showing me the original ad. I don't know if they. Here we go. Maybe I can. Oh, why can't it show? Oh, here it is. Yeah, yeah, this is what I hate about eBay too. It says it's sold for $240 plus $40 shipping. So it said $280. So and actually it was $299, so it was listed at $300 plus $40 shipping. So $340. And I'm saying I got it for $140, so $150. It's $154. Anyways, totally worth it. Very cool. Super excited to. I have, normally I give these to DMA he's kind enough to make them work because they're capacitive or non-digital and how you measure a key press but I don't know, man. I'd like to learn, so maybe I'll start keeping a couple of these and see if I could eventually do it. But I wouldn't want to experiment on it. But I don't know. He had one that was like the board was so bad he had to like make so many new wires. It was almost like redoing it all anyways. So I can do that. I mean, I can make a mess. He didn't make a mess. He was just doing what he had to do to get this one to work, and it just happened to be like rusted all over the place and not quite in good shape. I don't know what this one looks like underneath too much, but it looks pretty clean actually. Like, I don't know. Maybe, like, this is what you can never tell, but it feels like it wasn't used much, but is there any nicks in the plastic, or is that just dirt? It's really trippy that it's all metal, and there's these are some heat escape vents up here. Is this on camera? Let me see. Yeah, it's quite, with all I think the modern keyboards that I've been seeing, a lot of them are starting to have the dials on them, and I guess this would never be I doubt this is related to anything electrical, so maybe it is though, because why else would it be here? But I wonder if I don't know why you'd ever use it. Set an alarm to wake you up in an hour or something, or that you have to leave, or these would be well, here's your function keys, P1 through 8. But what reuse would you get out of these? Some kind of macros? I don't know, that's pretty cool. I'd say when I push on those, they go into the board, like they're not seated super strongly, like the board kind of moves, which this thing's really cool. Hall effect, it's smooth and it's linear, nothing's in the way of bottoming out. So, but it's not, it's got some resistance, but no tactile bump or anything, but just normal. I don't know how they get the weighting like that, just love the font though. Is that just dirt on the side there? I don't know, but I'd say gorgeous keycap set. That's just obvious. It's beautiful. Okay. 59. So that's the big purchase last month, and it's a beauty. It's a beauty. I like owning this. I don't know how I will be able to use it. I guess the one thing that I ever did complete, and it wasn't really me, it was DMA, was I have a telecomet from Japan that's also funky, and DMA hooked it up for me, and then I can use it, and it works, and so it's converted, and I guess I'll put this up here. I'll show you the telecomet real quick. Where is it? Where'd you go, telecomet? Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, jeez. Almost broke it right there because the cable got stuck in the shelving. Not really a fair comparison, I guess, but yeah, this is the Japanese telecomet that I cleaned up and filled, acrylic paint filled the lettering that was needed, and DMA did all the guts. And it's missing some parts to hold the spacebar in, but I can 3D print those. I just haven't got around to it yet, but that's another example of, I guess I seem to like these older ones, probably because their keycap sets tend to be better and look more appealing to me anyways. This one's super funky with the whole metal case and just an interesting piece of metal. Okay, let's see. Well, that is it for this video, and I hope to be back with another video about I'm sitting on a bunch more here that I can't wait to share, so stay tuned for another one. Bye.